Welcome back. Welcome back. We have another battle from the YCL, the YouTube Challengers League. This week, we're going up against Coach SciDan and the Sydney Six. I will make sure to put the link to his channel down below. Seemed like a fairly small channel, but I really enjoy his approach to his draft battles, and he also plays other games as well, as I've seen. As I said, I enjoy his approach to the game and his, he's a very promising draft coach. It's my first time playing or really interacting with him, but it's easy to see, even from team matchup, that he has a good understanding of prep, and he shows also in his videos and scouting. Definitely check the channel out, because I enjoyed the content. I hope you would as well. But getting into the battle, on top of giving full credit and props to my opponent, who I think did an excellent job, I definitely criticized my own preparation, compounded with how well Coach SciDan prepared his team this week. I felt that my approach was really vanilla. Here we're going to go for the Miltank lead. And not only was my approach vanilla, but my play was kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say vanilla or plain in the same sense, but I would just say like uninspired or something of that sort. Like, I go for the body press turn 1, which was a fairly aggressive play, but truth be told, to go ahead and get the stealth rocks up as well would have been even better. Maybe I could have switched after that, not taking so much damage if I had went to my Rotom, which is another thing that I didn't necessarily love about my prep coming out of it. One of the things I did that was quite boring in my opinion, I have the full defense Miltank and the full special defense Rotom to kind of serve as dual pivot walls. I could have still ran plenty of bulk on Rotom and brought Defog, played this whole beginning of game quite differently, and who knows, as you can see, I know that he's -2 on this turn, but the Rotom can eat hits from the Duraludon quite well. It is Assault Vest at the moment, and we're talking about removing that for Defog, but the neutral coverage Shadow Ball was really not that effective against his team. If I would have looked into the preparation a little bit longer and harder, maybe I would have been able to recognize that, because the one Pokemon that it really hits is Jellicent, besides neutral coverage on other things. And as a grass and electric type, I have all the ways in the world to deal with a Jellicent. So, like, I don't need to be spamming the non-stab Shadow Ball against it, and Defog would have been much better there. So I think that just like I was going for a certain concept that I really turned out not liking, and bringing those two wall pivot type Pokemon. Magmortar is definitely a mix of defense and offense. It's wearing the Rocky Helmet to accommodate with his Flame Body ability, but it definitely has a lot of special attack investment as well. I just didn't see the need for full speed, because I have a pretty much slower team than my opponents. I mean, not pretty much. I have a fairly well amount of speed difference from my opponent's team. And yeah, once again, I would just kind of like, I scout with the protect here, and don't use that information to the best of my ability on the following turn, because he's going to go for Stone Edge here, which I don't know if I was thinking at the time. I guess I just didn't want to make a sack. But I have the fully defensive mill tank. Well, it's at low health, so it probably would have went down. But, truthfully, that would have been just fine considering I already got the stealth rocks up. And I could have went into something like Metagross or Azumarill and maybe poke some holes in the team so that the other one could possibly clean up later and or Dragonite. Um, I end up even going to the mill tank after I let my Magmortar go down, which is, just not optimized playing on my part, not exactly where I wanted to put myself as far as position goes. And so as I said, I just felt that like a lot of plays that I make during this game were kind of like uninspired. Like, maybe I shouldn't use that term either because maybe it leaves a different impression. Like I didn't put enough effort in. Well, I would say that I didn't put enough effort in because I got out prepped by my opponent. So if my opponent put in more effort than me, then my effort wasn't enough. But that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to come off by saying uninspired, like I didn't have investment in the battle, I guess I would say. But like that would just be my analysis of what is wrong with the plays that I make. Like I needed to be more aggressive at certain points, think, a couple more turns ahead, and try to really put myself in better positions. Because what my opponent definitely did worlds better than me in this game was bring the right bulk. And it's obvious that he has a team that's capable of walling a lot of teams out. When you see the Cinderace, the Jellicent, Duraludon. He also happens to bring a Serena with Synthesis, which works really great for him this game, as well as whatever his EV spread was on Serena and Flygon. He had the speed to outspeed the right things. He had the defense to live the right hits. And definitely did an excellent job in his preparation. Possibly my one and only good piece of real tech this game was to bring the Choice Scarf Dragonite in order to get rid of the Cinderace. That works out in my favor and that, does exactly what I want and that sort of thing. But I reveal that I'm Scarf, obviously being able to outspeed Cinderace. And so he can just go right into Flygon, which has Levitate, forcing me to switch into another hit. And therefore, even when I make a pretty good play in this match, Coach SciDan is prepared and ready for it and ready to turn it against me and put me in a bad position. Which, as I said, my plays throughout this match could have been just a lot more solid. Like, it just could have been a lot. There's a lot of room for improvement in a lot of the moves that I make and some of the preparation decisions that I made as well, especially the amount of bulk that I brought and that sort of thing. But you have to give full credit to my opponent as well, because he continues to put me in offhanded positions. And this was kind of a learning experience for this team, because I didn't draft this team myself. I'm a fill-in coach for another coach, and even though I didn't draft this team, I was really, really, really enjoying it. I wouldn't say up to this point, but like I've been enjoying it so far the entire time I've played it, except for up until this point, I've gone and handily defeated my first couple opponents. Now, my week 3 matchup didn't happen. There was some personal issues going on with my opponent. However, my opponent was supposed to be in week 3 Coach Manny, who is the commissioner of the league. So, especially considering he has some legitimate personal issues going on, maybe we can still make that match happen. I would definitely be down to, what's the word? Reschedule that match. I would definitely like to see it happen still. And, I think the people that watch the YouTube videos would like to see it happen. But, back into this battle in particular, we have some more, like, spammy, trying not to use the same words, like, not aggressive enough at times, and also not, forward thinking or further, thinking ahead into the battle enough at time plays. Like, we do pick up the kill here, which is another one of my more solid plays, but like the follow up, not great. And just the overall position that I'm in at this point in the battle, with what my opponent's options are as opposed to my options, I'm never at any point really in love with it. And as I said, like, I also take quite spammy and just not optimized approach at this at many points in this battle. I allow my obvious revealed choice scarf user to get paralyzed. I could have switched to my electric type expecting a moon blast or that type, anything would have probably been better than that. So at this point I feel like the Dragonite is fairly much neutered, so I kind of like spam for that reason at this point. Makes matters kind of worse though. It's just kind of like allowing Coach SciDan to execute his own game plan, which is to slow me down, wall me out, neuter my Pokemon, and keep his as healthy as possible. My Dragonite does eventually go down to the Moon Blast, and I would say at this point, Coach SciDan and his team have a pretty solid lead, considering my Azumarill is kind of like a one-trick pony setup Pokemon, and my Rotom isn't that offensive. A lot of the work would have to go on to the shoulders of Metagross, but also there's Azumarill, which if we can, play the positioning game a little better than what we end up doing, just to be totally frank. We can try to get the right position for Azumarill to come in, set up the belly drum, and do its thing. I actually think that maybe that position possibly comes and goes at some point in the battle. He's going to end up using his water-type Jellicent, of course, to wall out the steel-type moves. He makes great switches and, is able to keep his Pokemon healthy while whittling down mine. He makes much better use of his Stealth Rocks because of this. And yeah, he just continues to win the war of attrition, putting me in a worse and worse position as the battle goes on, to where by the end of it, I'm pretty much forced to make some more than question. Like, at some points in this battle up until now, the plays have been questionable, but they go from questionable to just unfavorable or bad at certain points in this battle because of the way that Coach SciDan prepared and played this. He just would not let me get any ground on him, and that's, obviously what he intended to do in this battle. It's something I should have seen in prep, something I should have been more keen to, and I guess you would say like more focused on, was breaking his team. Um, it's just, I mean, it's a learning experience because I didn't draft this team. I do kind of got to figure out, what the other coach may have overlooked here and there, and also is a learning experience in the sense that um, if I don't find ways to do that and make game plans that work out and are not easy to prepare for, is I think the what I'm looking for. Um, Not all of my games are going to go as well as the first two did, where I was able to see some things in preparation and handily dispose of my opponents. That is not the case against Coach SciDan, and the way he approached this matchup was pretty impeccable. So yeah, I mean, I think you can kind of already tell the way that this is going. It's a little bit of a spoiler at this point. Um, but even though I still have the Azumarill and the Metagross alive, the position that Coach SciDan has put himself in is pretty difficult to get out of. He's able to shrug off attacks from all of my Pokemon with one of the three good walls that he has left over. And he also has the Flygon, which is a ground type. It has certain immunities and that sort of thing. With both the immunity to electric, which is irrelevant in this case, but also ground. So, I can't just spam electric and ground attacks because Flygon is still a thing at this point in the battle, adding to the strength of his position. And pretty much, like I said, it's got me fighting an uphill battle at this point. An uphill battle that is only growing steeper and steeper. So yeah, as you can see, there's a handful more turns left in this game, but as the plays carry on, continue on, my Pokemon keep getting weaker, and his Pokemon do not. He is able to keep them healthy. That's pretty much all I can say about that. We do end up picking up the kill on the Flygon. But really that was just a sacrifice intentionally, probably honestly because we live this burn, and we still have the, well, no, we don't have the threat because it's a dead Pokemon to Stealth Rocks. Regardless of that, what we end up doing is trying to go for the belly drum against all the recovery attacks. But as I stated earlier in the battle, and I'm kind of just letting it play out at this point, but trying to give some insight and commentary as well. The position is already pretty much set. Like, he also has the Colbur Berry tech for the knockoff. So really that may have been the best turn to go ahead and belly drum, and that didn't work out. That didn't happen. I would have surely lived with the citrus berry and all of that, but I still don't think I'm winning this no matter what. Actually, no, I know it because he brings uh, one last really good tech to go ahead and put this thing to rest. And yeah, for lack of a better term, just end the game. So what he's gonna do is, this is where he's gonna go to the Flygon, and that's gonna end up going down here. But that's just a sacrifice and pivot because he has enough speed on his Serena to guarantee he outspeeds me, and because of that, he's able to do so. Um, go first and land the chop kick. Um, so all I can really say from that point on is, really good game to my opponent, Coach SciDan. Really good prep. This one does end up going to timer, but Rotom is dead when it comes into Stealth Rocks, and Metagross is low health. It's pretty low. So it's obviously, oh well, it's not low as I thought. But it's obviously not going to beat the Serena. And sorry, my video lagged a little bit here at the end. I apologize for that, but it doesn't really change the fact that we can already see the outcome. The timer does hit 0. But as I'm saying, Metagross can't defeat that combination of 3 Pokemon by itself if it's choice locked into a move. So, with that being said, we're going to end it here. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you check out Coach SciDan's channel and be on the lookout for more draft content from the YCL as well as the MPA. The other draft league I'm doing, a lot of my close friends and other content creators are in that league as well. And there's also a lot of smack talk in that league. So be prepared for some hype late season action as things unfold there. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.